Alright, so I just filmed a video for myself first, but then it turned out to be a video that I can actually upload, and this is just something I didn't expect it and I did not see coming, but I had a very, very beautiful experience today that I also did not see coming, and I am even not entirely sure what I want to talk about here, but I just feel like today I really changed something within me regards to what I've been through in the past month. There were some mental difficulties and struggles that I had, and it is very important that we actually acknowledge what's going on, and most often it can be actually answered with the same answer. It is the way how you're asking yourself the questions and things that you want to have answered, and in general just what do you want to see in the future rather than what are you facing now. And that usually, when you then can draw connections, will give you the answer that you need. So for me, I really want to keep this moment as not being 22 yet, even though it is just a number, and I also do not feel accordingly to this number. If there's a way how you can feel accordingly, I think a lot of things changed within the past year. We all experienced a lot of change, some things more surprising than others. Nevertheless, I'm just still glad that I'm here. I also have to address that, because if I'm watching this in the future, I know for myself that there have been moments where I wanted to give up, and I didn't. And I think it now starts to become more real to me that I actually made it. Not saying that there will be moments that might not challenge me in the same way as I have been challenged back then. I think this is literally what I mean with mental health recovery. Recovery does not mean, recovery is not a place where you go. It's not something to reach. It is something that you can gain and try to go towards, but it's never ever a point where you can say you can cross it. It is very hard to say. How can I put this into words? Mental health recovery is something that is an ongoing process, and I have to admit that once Corona happened, I really let myself slack more and more into this mental health not recovered part of me, because as much as I did recover over the past years, it really easily can catch up with you again. I think I went through some pretty dark moments again that I would never expect to come back, but they did. And I think it's just a lesson for myself that even though you wish they would not come back, and you might also try to expect that they don't come back because you would define yourself as recovered, it's not necessarily the truth. I think mental health is something that does require a lot of attention and a lot of care and a lot of energy. So does physical health. It is very interesting that mental health is still within the perception of being something that does not require as much attention as physical health, whereas there is no differentiation to make between it. If you refer to your health, it has to include your mental health. And if somebody is asking you, are you healthy? And you firstly, primarily think about your physical health and you answer with yes, but you know that mentally might not be the truth. We are not aware of this, that it does belong together, and how much it is interlinked actually, and how much your physical health indicates your mental health and vice versa. It's literally going, and it's going both ways, right? So yeah, there are a lot of topics that I do think that there has to happen change towards. Yet I also know that I cannot expect this change to happen if I don't even make the change myself. So what I just had already for 2021, so the year that I'm currently living in, is just this finding the balance between physical and mental health. And it is not only being like balanced when it comes to experiencing both ways of health. I think it's also about the consciousness and spreading the word about the fact that there has always been balance and there will always be balance, because both are part of your health. But I think what is important is definitely the stressor about when you talk about health, it does include mental as well as physical, and that there is no thing that we should rather think about than the other. It is just that both go hand in hand, and that we need to change this stereotype that we're having if somebody's asking you, are you healthy, that we only do think about our physical health. And I do believe that there are cultures which are further in that development than the cultural background that I grew up with or that I'm currently experiencing. I do think that there's already like change happening, but I want to just stress it again that there's more need for that change to happen, because I still do experience that there is this likelihood that people will focus primarily on their physical health and do not look very well after their mental health. And also within the society and the system, there's not a lot of dedication towards mental health. And if there's always a priority and there is like one is better than the other, one like deserves more attention than the other, that does not really solve the imbalance that is also regards that within society. It really has to have a balance, and it has to be addressed through trying to reach this balance. And yeah, I think it really is time to work upon the balance between mental and physical health of people in the workplace. And there are laws which are supposed to protect employees from being too exposed when it comes to their mental health, like private life, private issues, private I have to change a little bit of my seat, but there's a lot of change that has to happen and is important to happen, and people do also law has to change, because law are written rules that we do comply to. We are pretty conscious about, or if we are not, we know how to look them up, and we try to reason certain behavior, or we try to adapt certain behavior towards the rules which have been written long time ago. And the question is, from which motivation have those rules been written? Like, what was the motivation behind those rules? And then which motivation do we have nowadays, and what do we want to, like, where do we want to go? And are those rules still like helping us with going that direction, or are those rules actually keeping us from developing and towards that direction? So I think, yeah, it is a very big thing that is going on, and I'm not sure if that will be like changed within my lifetime, but I for sure want to share this with more and more people so that this gets more attention. And yeah, I would have never thought that I am filming now 2 videos in a row, just sitting here on my ground in my room and just trying to voice whatever is going on in my head, and I'm actually very glad. So yeah, welcome to part 2 of whatever kind of series this is. I'm not going to film now a 3rd video because I'm getting hungry and I want to make myself dinner, so please excuse me. I'm disappearing now from your screen. As I said in the last video, I hope you're still like very safe and you look after each other. So stay safe with your loved ones, and I will see you next time, I guess. I'm not going to film a video again now. not starting a new one. I'm ending this one here. I'm very happy to just have brought my voice out and just say things that, yeah, I'm feeling like right now I'm doing something good with doing this. So it's giving me energy that I did this, and this is a passion of mine. Welcome. So yeah, I'm very glad, and stay safe with your loved ones, and I'm signing off. Bye.